Hello, this is Lisa Russick.
And Misty Lore.
For the podcast, We Are All Psychic. And we have Alejandra here again, and we can't get enough of Alejandra. Oh, hey, Alejandra, how are you doing today?
Hello, guys. It's good to be back with you again. I'm good. As we're just talking about the hurricane, a little hurricane fatigue, but all good and happy to be back.
Listeners and watcher if you haven't been watching. We're listening.
Yep.
She was telling us how everything, but her house didn't get struck. And the around her did. Very interesting. Witchy stuff.
Yep. A little spell of protection over it.
Protection does work. I've done it for a house and I've talked about it. I believe it. Yeah, I think it did definitely work for you. And listeners and watchers, today we're wearing, if you're watching, we're wearing like little southern do-rags. And we had a plan to do a podcast about being psychic and working as psychic energy as a psychic in the South in any kind of capacity.
You haven't asked the question.
I haven't asked anybody the question, Misty.
No,
God, I just keep forgetting.
The question.
Do you think we're all psychic?
What is wrong?
I don't know. I've been doing this. I've been forgetting a lot lately. I even talked about it in a podcast. Okay, do you still think we're all psychic?
Is that to me?
Well, it was to Misty, but you're...
I'm with you.
You're okay. How about you, Ella?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
She knows it.
Yay!
And okay, we'll get back to my rambling about what we're talking about now.
Yes.
These are for the southern psychic experience.
Yep.
Because we have to, disguise ourselves often and fit in.
This is true.
So we did have a couple other people planned for this podcast, and one wrote me 10 minutes before it. And I think she fell asleep. I think she was really tired. And she was representing Georgia, and we had another one person from Louisiana, but she dropped out. And now it's the three of us. So Misty, you represent what state in the South?
Alabama.
I represent Tennessee, and I'm Lisa. And Alejandra, who do you represent?
I'm in Florida.
She's in Florida.
Florida, baby.
Yep. Originally from Texas, though, so I could sort of represent both because a lot of my stuff came from Texas. A lot of the stuff people have had to say about me came from Texas people.
Yeah. And I can represent some Alabama stuff too. But
there you go.
I can't represent I cannot represent Mississippi. I don't know if anyone in Mississippi would come on the podcast. But there's psychics in there. They're like the old school nature witches, in Mississippi.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're real interesting there. I like Mississippi. It's not a place I'd like to live because there's like so poverty stricken, and a lot of swamps and a lot of sick people and unhappy people. And but some places are all right, like down by the water. Who doesn't like it?
I don't know that I've ever spent time in that state, to be honest. Well, I think we drove through,
I drove through
and that's it. And I think we spent the night in a hotel. So like we drove in, spent the night, got in the car, left.
Yeah.
So I don't really know much about that area.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
You want to go ahead and start talking about Florida, Alejandra, to kind of break the ice on this? Like, what do you compare it to so that you've lived where you've lived or anything?
So the areas I've lived in Texas. I grew up in Texas up until I was 18. And then I lived in Indiana for 4 years while I went to college in Notre Dame. Never talked about psychic stuff there. That just wasn't even a part of my life at that point in time. Yeah. Then got married, moved back to Florida. Then lived in Sedona in Arizona for a couple of years during COVID at our house there. So of course there, everybody's a psychic. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And I don't believe that everyone is real, but I do believe that there are a lot of very powerful women and men and very powerful healers in that area.
Yes,
but you have to be careful.
Well, I think even the ones who are manipulating people are energy workers.
Right. Maybe. So maybe I should just say they're just not light.
But unethical.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. And then, now we live in Florida. Again, we came back to Tampa.
Yeah.
So, I love it here. And I do find that I'm a lot less I'm more fearless, I guess. I have a lot less fear about starting to talk about it. I actually, when one of the neighbors, I was telling you guys, when one of the neighbors stopped and said, it looks like your house was in a bubble. There's destruction all around and your house doesn't have a leaf out of place. And that happened while we were evacuated, that it just didn't get hit. And we, again, very, very grateful. But I did look at him and go, well, you guys know I'm a witch. And he looked at me and I go, yeah,
dude,
but there's protection around it. And I went, ha, ha, ha. But I'm like, yeah, not really.
You wanted to. You went.
Right. But so I still find that, except for the people that I really trust here in Tampa, I still find that I have to tread pretty lightly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not accepted per se.
Can you just say, like, let's say you're going to apply at a house rental or something, and they ask what you do for a living, and you're just say that's all you do is do your work as an energy healer or worker, and as a contractor, though not with a business, like it's so unstable to be a contractor is what I'm trying. That was what I'm getting at. But could you would you be able to get that apartment or anything because you're self-employed? It's really hard to do, in the South, because you have to tell them your job and they instantly judge you. You don't have to tell them your job, but they ask, and I'm not going to lie. So I'll say I'm a psychic reader and a jeweler and a podcaster.
Right. You've got a lot of hyphens, right? And so do I, because I am an interior designer.
That's right.
So there's that. And that's been around for over 20 years, that company.
Yeah.
When I say feng shui, people just look at me like I have four eyes. They have no idea what I'm saying for the most part, So I don't always say it unless I'm being called in specifically for that. So
and
I can just
know
say
they need it and they can work with it. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, my case is a little bit different because I am married. So it's dual income. So we haven't had a situation where we haven't been able to get something that we needed or wanted because of my job. For me, it's yes. And for me, it's more just the social aspect of things.
Yeah.
You get I don't believe in that. Or,
exactly.
That's the devil's
I don't care about their religion.
That kind of stuff.
I just don't like the snottiness associated with it.
Oh, I've been called of the devil. I mean, to my face.
Yeah. I've been told I was going to hell by good friends and Shirley in high school. We thought it was funny. We were Catholic at the time, my friend Kyla and I, and our best friend Andy, who is another religion, told us we were going to hell. He's like, I love you too. I don't want you to go to hell. But
I had somebody say almost the exact same thing to me too. And I was raised Catholic. And this was even before the spiritual stuff. This was straight up about different types of Christians, right? We were raised Catholic. There was something else. And they said, we just love you so much. We just want you to go to heaven. We don't want you to go to hell. And I'm like, I'm super happy for you that you guys just discovered religion and Jesus and God and all of it. I've kind of had it since I was a baby. So I'm all good. I think
I'm good with it. Can you be?
Yeah.
Can you be? Can you chill?
It's just very interesting how people think that this world is. And part of it, I mean, I do believe we're just talking about a couple of shows, right? That I was telling you guys you should watch. Part of it is how it's been portrayed.
Yes.
Right? People are afraid because of how it's been portrayed.
Yes. That they're all especially the ones who run up to people and say, your mother's talking to me. I could never do that.
Well, no, of course not.
I could never do that. It doesn't happen like that for me anyway, but I mean, maybe it could. Maybe I could zero in on somebody.
I think it could.
And then
I've had it
happen to me.
I've had it where
I've had it happen, but not much. I'm not compelled to go up to every single person I meet when their spirits are around.
No, but
I just don't have that compulsion.
Sometimes there's a need for it.
Yeah, you're right. There is. I have done it when I felt there was a need.
Yeah.
Just a couple of times.
I'll just ask if something like that is coming through for me. And you guys know, I don't do mediumship as a business, even though I have the ability. I choose to work through people's homes, with the feng shui and with the design and use my intuition that way. But yes, I have been in people's homes and someone's come in, right? And so I will just say, are you open to receiving a message? And if they say yes, then I'll share it with them. It usually means absolutely nothing to me, but they'll start crying or have some sort of reaction because it means something very specific to them.
Yes.
Or they'll say, no, I have no interest in it. And I'm like, I'm okay. But I did what spirits asked me to do, which is try to relay it. But I'm also not going to force it on them.
No.
We all have free will, right? That's a big part of all of this gift is that we all have free will. Right.
Now, in other areas of Florida, or Florida's a big state,
very big. Mm-hmm.
So would you say it's like that all over the state? It's kind of tippy toes, but not quite.
Honestly, I have no way of answering that because I spend the majority of my time in the Tampa Bay area.
Okay.
I know that, Miami has a huge Cuban population and they have their own version of stuff. And just like New Orleans, there's Santeria, there's all sorts of different things that are in different areas. And probably towards central Florida, where it is more rural and
witchery. Yeah.
There could be. I have not experienced it, so I don't really want to say anything about something I have no idea about.
Yeah. I wonder if you guys can do this sometimes when I drive through an area, like an area I don't go through very often since I started working with particularly magic and, specifically. I can go through certain areas. Let's say, like when I went to visit Poncetta and Muscle Shoals one time, I picked it up for the first time. The other witches watching, guarding, and they're seeing, am I okay? Yeah, she's okay. She's not staying.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel them. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you guys ever just feel them kind of around, like the ones who are in that area? If there's like I guess a circle or a coven or something. Like they have eyes out watching. It feels like it anyway.
Like the energy or something?
Like I can feel them being aware that I'm in their turf. I guess you could say their energetic turf. It's hard to explain. And it's always witches that I feel that from who practice a lot of magic. And they're always good witches. And they're always just making sure I'm not going to come take anyone's business or mess with anybody.
That's good.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that, but I have driven through areas, especially when we were out west during COVID and drove like through the desert a lot. We drove through like one deserted town where as soon as we were driving through an area, I got hit like in the car and I'm like, whoa, like something just happened to me here. And I don't know if I picked up a soul fragment or if an entity was trying to attach itself to me, but like something went down there.
That's what my friend Akasha says happens to her. It happens to me.
Yeah.
Too. Feels like I'm having an accident every 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was like, whoa. And I wasn't driving, thank goodness, because I think I probably would have wrecked. But I just remember looking at Art and going, oh my God. And he goes, what happened? And I go, I don't know. Something just happened. Like something like smashed into me, inside the car. We were driving. So it was inside the car. But I definitely have had those feelings. I've not had.
How many people in Florida would you tell that to face to face? That you know even, including your husband, tell him.
Two.
Yeah, that's how it was in Alabama before Misty joined me on the podcast. I would tell my husband at the time and my friend at the time. And the friend at the time got involved in it with me, but the husband at the time didn't. And I actually remember when I was going to do this podcast and I had the idea for the name and the pitch, the asking the question kind of thing, like a hook, I guess. I was trying to think of a good idea and I liked this idea. And I told that husband, I'm going to do it, call it We're All Psychic and ask people. I don't know how I'll get people, but I will. I said, will you do it? It's like, no one's going to say yes to you.
Oh.
He's like, you do something other people can't do. I was like, no, I don't. I was like, I have pursued this all my life. I worked hard to get to where I am. And it was worth it. And it was some hard times and all but he still was just like, it's not going to do any good. No one's going to want to do that. But it surprised me in the South, though. After I started doing the podcast, I got more confident about talking to people in Alabama to say I'm a psychic reader or a tarot reader. Some people are really, I can just pick up. They're not like in that word psychic. I'll say tarot reader,
Oh, see, I think that one
psychic implies I know everything more than God. And that's not, that's in the South. And in Alabama, a lot of churchgoers who don't think psychics are good and they're doing the work of what they say makes the devil make that kind of thing.
Sure.
I think that there are a lot of those in Alabama, but it's getting better. And we noticed it starting the podcast around 2019 or 2020. The bookstores and just regular stores would have their metaphysical mind, body, spirit stuff up front. And now they have to keep it by the cash register because people keep stealing it.
We've come a long way.
Yes, we have. But I still feel we were talking about it, especially to older generations. They don't like it at all in the South. Like my ex-husband's grandmother's like, stop all that psychic nonsense foolishness. Is my life calling? Was he? She's just like, oh.
Do you think it's maybe because whatever they were exposed to was dark versus light?
Maybe they did have an
I think so.
like that. That makes a lot of sense.
Very
Or they could have just had the crap scared out of them from a preacher or something too. They were right.
Right. There's that, right? I mean, there's
that Southern Baptist.
Sure.
Been raised.
You're going to hell for looking the wrong direction. But I also think maybe a lot of people, without even knowing that they're having a dark experience, have by accident, or maybe not by accident, had a dark experience, which then also makes them more skittish to the genre as a whole.
I think
yes, they just close it all out.
Sure.
They don't open any
how many
of
people on the podcast, if as you're like a point, prove to your point, they come on here and say, they were working with it when they were younger just because of a trauma or something like that. And I don't know, I'm starting to lose my train of thought. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, what you're trying to say is that they lost it when they were little. Oh
yeah, they lost it when they were little. That's what almost everyone will say. They had it when they were little, and either it was encouraged or it wasn't. And if it wasn't, they lost it. That's right. But I know I did take a Phenergan. I've been really nauseous for like 3 days, and I took one before.
Oh.
I did that one other time, and I was low. That's why I'm starting to slur a little bit because it starting to kick in, and it's like. Ooh.
And what's that for? What's
nausea?
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. That's no fun.
Yeah, it's just gut problems. It's just health problems. I'm used to it.
Sorry, we're watching a friend's. Hopefully that's not too terribly loud. We're watching a friend's dog, so we have 5 dogs with us right now.
Oh wow!
I heard one bark. It was
everybody starts going.
I know.
Not much I can do about it.
When you guys watched this back, there was something. I think you said it, Alejandra, and you said something spoke to me, or you said something like that, and then the dog barked.
Oh.
Like you were talking about talking, and then the dog barked. You just have to watch it back or listen.
Yeah.
To it live. And you'll see it's so cute. It's like he's emphasizing what you were saying.
Probably so. I think they're all very psychic and very intuitive.
Oh gosh.
I think animals are incredible in that respect.
No matter what state they're in.
Yeah.
I think in Alabama too, there's like a church in every corner.
There is.
Same with Florida. And they're like random.
Yeah. Are they?
Like they're not like you were just saying Southern Baptist, like these are anything and everything I've ever seen under the sun. Like, just all sorts of different names.
Yeah.
They're very diverse. Very diverse.
Church God. There's just church, like so-and-so church, like that town it's in or something, it doesn't say a denomination.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm very much of the belief that I am super respectful of what everyone believes, but then I also expect that in return.
I do too.
And when there's that disconnect is when I have an issue, It's like if I have no problems with your belief system, then I don't expect you to have an issue with mine. And I've chosen not to just close my mind to what somebody is up on a pulpit telling me is the way to live my life. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to gain more information, learn about different religions and different, backgrounds and all that. And, then therefore you shouldn't have a problem with that either.
No. And if you're like me, I like to take a little bit out of each religion, something that I like.
Yes.
And take it with me, and I love to learn about other religions too.
Me too.
And I think we talked about this, like you love rosaries, right, Misty? You have an
yeah. But I mean, Catholics.
You're not Catholic, but you have an interest.
My family history is Catholic.
Yeah.
I have my great grandmother's rosary, right over there actually. But no, on my grandmother's side, they were all raised Catholic. It's just my grandma, she was raised Catholic, and then it kind of stopped. And
Lutheran isn't that different from Catholic, is it?
No, it's like a flip over. It's very similar. Yeah.
Episcopalian kind of.
Same thing, very close to it. Because I think that's what my daughter-in-law.
Right?
My daughter-in-law is either Episcopalian or Lutheran too, very close to Catholic.
Yeah. Yeah. They started to go into like a Lutheran church at the time. And then that's what my mom took us to when we did go. But she got tired of it real quick. My mom did, because really all they wanted was our money when we went to church. And if we weren't given enough, they didn't want us there.
That's
and
true.
Mom got that real quick, and she was like, nope. And she took us all out.
Wow.
Out of that building. She was like, nope, we ain't going to church anymore.
Yeah, she don't need to learn that. That's how you buy your soul. Yeah.
She wasn't going back. She was like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. And I'm proud of her for that. She did good. So
you can also represent Louisiana a little bit, Misty.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I can represent Louisiana a lot.
A lot, actually. Yeah.
A lot of family history there in Louisiana. And still.
So where do they stand? I mean, New Orleans, it's kind of its own thing, right? Because I mean, that's a big part of New Orleans and all that. But
yeah. I was raised, basically my grandmother said she believed in being psychic. One of her brothers was actually a very, very well-known psychic in the family, actually. And that's when all the relatives would ask him questions about what was going to happen or whatever. He was the one that they always went to. Can't remember his name. I'll have to ask my mom. But I was always growing up around it. It was natural for me. My grandmother would always tell, ghost stories and stuff that happened when she was a child, and seeing a ghost, and, all the stuff that would happen when she was in the house, and that's just how I grew up, in Louisiana.
Her mom's been on a podcast. She did a podcast.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. And she had some stories, like haunted stories, like the house that she lives in haunted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it was fun. It was all fun. It still is. I think that's why I am the way I am today.
Because mom's fun. Your mom is fun.
I pass it down to my daughter.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, my son has my gifts, and he's aware of that because they are bloodline gifts. So he's aware of it. He's about to turn 30, and he's just like not ready for it yet.
Yeah, see, my daughter's not either.
That's okay. Yeah. But he has had experiences, and his stories are not mine to share, but he's definitely had experiences where he'll then call me and be like, so what do you think of this? Or, how can I protect myself from this? So he has asked questions a couple of times, and
that's really cool.
I've shared that with him, and I've said, just make sure you're always staying in the light and just say that you reject and do not accept anything that isn't only
it really does. Yes, get a mantra that you like saying, like you say yours. Yeah, pretty much every time, right?
Yeah, I say it all the time, and I say it when I wake up, and I say it when I go to sleep, because I just feel like you need to stay in that vibration. At least for me personally, I don't practice anything dark, so I want to stay in a very light vibration. I want to go into my clients' homes and help them and stay in a very high vibration, and I just want to live my own life in a very high vibration and not have anything that doesn't meet me at my vibration be around me.
Exactly. Like don't give it a chance.
Just fall away to the sides, and that has included, as of this point in time, that has included some opportunities, friends, certainly family, it's just fallen by the wayside because they're not at my level of light. And I just won't accept anything that isn't anymore.
No,
well, it's like, as we work on, I think all three of us might agree with this, but as we pursue this path, especially as long as we all have our whole lives, everyone does, or else but really working with it and making a career out of it, and like I have, and like you guys have in some way or capacity. I think that that we still had the balls to do it, even though we're in the South, and we're women in the South. I don't know. I know one psychic. Well, he's non-binary, but I would say he was a dude because when I met him, I thought he was a dude. But he's non-binary, and he lives in the South, and he goes out as a psychic, but he doesn't talk about it. He just goes to the psychic fairs and the His name's Jared. If you're watching, I'm trying to get him on the podcast. I was trying to get him on this one actually. But
That's a sign.
If I thought he has lived in Mississippi for a while, but he did not. So, but it's like we have to have some guts to really get past that suppression of not just our culture ingraining in us that it's imagination, but the overall culture of the globe. It seems like it's either you're scamming or you're
right. That's one of the two, right? Yeah, you're crazy or you're in it through people. Sure.
Yeah, surely we're not open-minded people.
No, that would be too easy.
I know.
Very serious.
Well, the other part is too, and I know that the three of us believe in reincarnation because we've talked about it in other podcasts, but in previous lifetimes, we did not have this opportunity that we have right now to be openly discussing it. I was hung for it. I've done a past life regression where I was literally hung for being a white witch and a sorceress. So I have the scar to prove it in this lifetime. It's my cervical fusion. And that's what I was told by a healer. It's like, that's your witch wound from a previous lifetime because you spoke your voice, you shared, and you were trying to heal people and you got hung for it. So that somehow stays in all our subconscious.
It does. And
whether you're burned or hung or killed,
you've heard more of that, more than one of those lives, right? You too, Misty, probably, because they all relate. So now they can tell us about is how it works for me anyway. It's not just you were in China and you had dark hair and it doesn't make any sense. I do love Chinese food and I'd love to go to China, but I don't have any feeling about China. But usually when people get a past life reading, the reader looks into what this life is about and then finds the lives associated with the lessons you're learning in this life is how I understand it.
Yeah, sometimes.
But why did karma put us here in the South? Why are we here? What are we here to do in the South? Now I'm in Tennessee now and things have changed a lot in Nashville anyway. I've been in other areas of Tennessee. It's not as accepted. It's more feared. It's believed, though. It's believed. Now, I no one looks at me surprised if I say I'm a psychic reader. They don't, like in Alabama, I do tarot cards. If you say that in Alabama, you gotta
turn around and walk the other way.
Yeah.
That's not as bad as being a psychic reader. You say that you're, like I said before, some people take that as saying you're a prophet of God.
Right.
And that's just,
you're calling yourself a prophet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yes. And it's a sinful thing. And it's not what it is. I mean, to me, that's just there. That's not the same word. There's semantics there for you. But in Tennessee, people like it. They like that I do readings and they want them for free. I mean, everyone wants free readings, but they're not always. They're either excited or they're no response. I have given 2 readings to people who had never had readings before, and I think they were from Cuba. So that was interesting that you.
Wow. Yeah.
And they'd never had them and they were terrified of the readings. And then afterwards, I didn't talk about anything scary, I don't think. I can't remember. It wasn't anything scary. It was just about their lives. And whatever comes up, a general reading, this is happening in this area, and they were just like, it's real.
Like, how do you know that?
And I got pretty drained from them because I can usually go a little longer than that, but I could only take them every time the 3 of them came over to see my roommate. I could only do one of them because it was so intense. The emotions they felt having the stuff that, they didn't think was real actually happening for them. That's why there's miracles every day. If you think of a miracle as that, that's not, though people do it all the time. 3 of us do it all the time, all day long,
Yeah. There's a miracle in everything. It's just how you look at it.
Yeah. And they're not educated about, in the South, about at all what spirituality can be. It's just what it is. It's what this is for you for the most part in the South that I've noticed in religions. They tell us this is the way it is. And
it goes back generations, I think we're the first ones that are maybe making a dent in that and getting people to be a little bit more open-minded. And I mean, that's all I say. I'm like, if you don't want to believe, that's fine too. But
it's lonely not having people to talk to sometimes about stuff.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. And you just kind of get used to it. And and you just keep things really light and easy breezy with a lot of people. But then when you can talk to people about it, then it's a lot of fun.
It's
And that's
amazing.
what we all
That's
like
what I was thinking.
each other to talk to.
Yeah, I was thinking
I've been
the
so
benefit would be a
lucky.
good
I've
thing.
been so lucky that I've got an awesome
Me
mom
too.
to talk to.
I'm lucky I have you in Alabama and you in Florida and the people on the podcast.
in the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My
Misty and I
mom,
are
I mean, my
always-
mom's not alive anymore, but, you know, like when I had my first, which we've talked about in a previous podcast too, when I had my first visitation, you know, that I went and told her, I'm like, you know, he died last night, right? And she just said, yes. There was never a conversation about it. Like, how did you know? Or what did you see? Like, she accepted that I knew that something had happened overnight, but there was never a continuation of the conversation to try and understand why. It was almost like, okay, let's just push that to the side and keep going.
Yeah.
You know?
That she had experiences before that she didn't tell you about?
So my mom, when I say my mom, I'm talking about my adopted mom. So my gifts did not come from her. But however, I spent now knowing all this now, as my journey started, I talked to my mom's brother, my uncle. And so my grandmother, again, all adopted, apparently was a really fun witch. And I spent an insane amount of time with her because I'm the oldest grandchild and I had her by myself for like 4 years. And my uncle said, I think that she taught you stuff that you don't even know that you know. Yeah, that she was fun, that she'd call my uncle over when he was a kid and go, watch and see, that guy's going to trip right now. And sure enough, whatever would be talking, they'd trip. And my uncle would be like, oh, so.
You mentioned her after a podcast or before a podcast or something. Because I remember you talking about her and I remember feeling her around. I don't know if we talked about it or
I
not.
love that she's around.
She's always around you, right?
Yeah, she is. She's around me a lot. And I just think that's really cool. So I think that I had that guidance without knowing I had that guidance because she probably didn't feel as a Latin Catholic woman that she could talk about it much either.
Right.
But she was showing me stuff in other ways.
Yeah.
So I think that's
I can imagine her like cooking, take the oregano.
She's a huge cook. She was a huge cook. All of the cooking that I know how to do is because of my grandmother.
Did she like explain to you what they could do? Because you know about herbs and their properties with your.
I love herbs. I have an herb garden and I use them all the time.
Did she tell you those kinds of properties? I can imagine she would.
Honestly, I'd be lying if I said I remember. I don't know.
You just, maybe it is in there too. It's just natural. She was giving you those little tidbits.
It just kind of came with
willow bark will stop your pain and stuff, And as a kid, it was so cool to be taught that stuff. Especially if you're a little girl who likes to be a witch.
I can't wait to teach my little granddaughter. Oh, you just get me so excited.
I know. I can't wait to have a granddaughter too. I already told my husband.
Oh, they're so fun.
Like, I cannot wait.
Oh, it's so fun. I love it. There's nothing better.
Her eyes.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting.
Gosh.
La La Land.
Yeah.
I've got a grandson and a granddaughter, and I just don't know how I could love them anymore.
Oh, you're so fortunate. So fortunate. Well, I'm excited for that.
I guess to kind of wrap this up, first of all, thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And it's everclear.com. I'm an advisor on there named Lisa, Pleesa, with the letter P. And they are awesome. I love Everclear. They cool people, I think. I think they're AI. I don't know what they are. I've never spoken to a human. I've talked and typed with humans, but I've never spoken to one. They're very mysterious. Anyway, I love them. And I was going to say, do either of you have advice for other psychics in the South who want to be in the field or are in the field and feel really lonely and want to connect, but other than be on the podcast? But like some way for them to get to where you are, Alejandra, maybe. And Misty, you've always been. Who cares? You do. I mean, you care about people.
I know what you're saying.
Care about matter, but just the random general public, I've never gotten the impression you gave a crap what they thought of you.
No, I don't.
And I did when I was younger, but now that I'm older, it's not quite there. But either of you have
same. Yeah, I cared a lot before, and I just don't care now. I'm like, again, you can't meet me where I am. That's fine. I would just say what's worked for me is I'll tiptoe, almost like I did with that neighbor. And I'm like, haha, I'm a witch.
Yes.
But if I see that it piqued their interest or they have questions, then I'm like, oh, they might want to talk about it. And I do find when I throw in one or two little tidbits into a conversation, you can tell right away.
You can.
Someone's open and wants to share. And if they want to share, oh my God, then it just comes in volumes, right? Because they've been holding it in for so long. And then suddenly you have a new connection and you're helping them to feel more comfortable. But on the other hand, again, know when to not share. And if you're sharing and read the room, right? Read the room, people. If you just feel that this is not landing, then dial it back. These are not your people.
Yep.
And that's
okay. Go somewhere else.
Right? Yeah. You will start to find more and more people. And you will start to find, I feel it every day. People are more and more interested in it. People want to talk about it more and more. I think people have suppressed and repressed so much. Yes. And if they even get an inkling that you're willing to talk about it, it's go time.
Yeah. So, that way, that's new.
Huh?
That's new, I think. It didn't.
Oh, for sure. I think that's within the last 10 years and maybe even the last 5 years, because at the beginning of my journey, so I started 7 years ago, give or take. I can't say what I say now, even 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Different.
So it's changing and it's changing very rapidly and for the better, in my opinion.
For the better.
Me too. For the better. Yeah.
So just
stuff that comes up, but it's easier to handle because of the skills I've gotten working with the psychic energy and my guides and spirit.
Right. It's our toolbox.
It really is a toolbox. It's a playground too.
It is. And it's much like, I love that. I always feel them like around me, like almost like a turtle shell around my back.
Yeah.
Like I always feel them around me and I just feel like they've got me. So if I say it and it doesn't land, that's fine. And if I say it and it lands, great. Let's keep going. And
I did what I was supposed to do. That's how I feel.
Yeah. That's my job.
Yep.
Don't fire me. I like my job. Well, thank you, and where can listeners find you, Alejandra? I know you're on Instagram. I'll tag you.
Yep, I'm always on. That's my easiest place to find me. But my website is alejandrabrady.com. That's pretty easy too. And so if you want to do a virtual consultation or in person, if you're in this area or want to fly me somewhere fabulous to do one, you can
on that one.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I've had things manifest. I'd always wanted to go to Aspen and I'd never found my way there. And then we went for a wedding and I just clicked with Aspen. And 3 weeks later, one of my clients from Tampa is like, oh, I just bought a penthouse in Aspen and I'd like for you to do it. Not just the function, all the interior design. So in the last 2 years, I have flown on her private plane to and from Aspen about 8-9 times.
Love it.
So that's what you can manifest. It's just, I love that.
Manifesting is I don't know exactly what I want.
You got to know what you want.
I know what I don't want, but I don't know what I want.
You got to know what you want and you got to be really clear about it. And you have to ask for it in everyone's highest and greatest good.
Oh, yeah.
Because just because I want to go doesn't mean that I should get to. Right. I'm there to do something to help somebody else too, right? And they're going to benefit as well. So I always say I want everyone in my little manifesting bubble to benefit from whatever it is that I'm asking to have happen. You know?
Okay, so can you put me and Misty in your manifesting bubble?
Yes. Where do you guys
tonight or tomorrow? Next time you're manifesting, and let's see. I want a solution to my
living situation.
Yes,
best solution possible for everybody.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing I always say. It's like, what I might think for myself might be very small versus what could actually happen. Yeah. So it's like, if I'm asking for something specific, I always also say, or better.
Well, that's right. Or better.
Yeah. Or better.
Or better. Yeah. Because I might not even know what's best for me.
Yep. That's right. She's got it going on. She knows what she's talking about.
I think you said that in another podcast too. I just listened to one of your older ones to get ready for this one, or like driving the other day. And I think you'd say like, oh yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm just going to call it that.
So just ask, for the best outcome for your living situation. Then you can say exactly what you want or better.
That's great. I love it.
You know,
And with
why
that,
not?
I think that's the best advice. And you guys look so cute with your do-rags.
You do too.
Love you guys both. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Love you
Love
guys.
you, listeners.
Love you.
Have a
And
good
listeners
night.
and watchers, we love you. And have a wonderful time wherever you may be. Peace out.
See you
Bye.
soon. Bye, guys.